Welcome back to GEISELSBERG for episode 16 with me, MrSealyp. I have just finished off the preparation of the seed bed down here on field 45. We are going to extend this in a minute. This episode I've got a few what we like to call odds and sods. A few odds and ends. There's a few bits and bobs that need to be sorted out. How many more different ways can I put that? I've prepared the seed bed on here because we're going to be putting sugar beet into this field. Most of the planters don't direct drill. There are a couple that do, I think, but I thought I'd prepare the seed bed anyway. I'm going to be ploughing out the end, which is probably going to need lime too. We're going to do that in a moment. This needs maintenance and fuel again. So we'll sort that out in just a moment. What I've got prepared in the yard already, we've got a bale trailer because I've got a couple of baling contracts I'm going to part fulfill just to clear the yard a little bit. We'll take this down, but what we're going to do is rye bales over here. We've got 40. There's 27 square and there are 13 round, so that's 40. My contract I've got at the moment, I've got a few, but Tyler wants 50 rye bales. So that's 40 of your 50, Tyler. I'm going to load these onto the trailer. We're going to get those on their way in just a second. I've also got a contract for AH13 stew for 100 straw bales. I'm going to explain that one in just a moment. But there are 44 bales up by field 1 that came off field 1 a while ago, and there are 6 here that I've taken out of the barn there. So that is 50 of your 100 straw bales that you wanted. So I'm just trying to clear the yards a little bit, get rid of some of the bales, because we've got a lot of bales sitting there on hand, and I thought if I can knock a few of these bale contracts on the head, I might as well just get them sorted out straight away. It just makes more sense doing it that way. So Stuart from Golden Days of Racing, he's extending a karting track and requires 100 straw bales to put around the track to maintain the feel of a racing track from the 1950s and 60s. In exchange for the bales, he's happy to supply me with 10 Pioneer pallets of either pig food, chicken food or a combination. Good luck in your new position at GEISELSBERG. Thank you very much, Stuart. So yeah, so that'll be those ones are going to be going off to Tyler for the rye bales. This will be part of the 50 that are going to be going off to Stuart for his karting track. Right, before I do any of that, let's get this maintained and refueled because we're going to run out of fuel if we don't. Oh, we are just spending money. I need to make some more. I need to get another delivery of pig food from See What Tea. See What Tea. I'll get it right once at some point. €435 on fuel. Whoa! And then he just smashes the fuel tank. Goes up in a big ball of flame. Good way to start the episode, isn't it? Right, let's jump out. How much is this going to cost me? Oh, I'll repair that then. €16. Let's drop that off. Oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, is that all? What am I repairing? Oh, come on. This is what I'm talking about. Then I end up having to drop everything off. This is why this is a little bit fiddly. It's going to show me the front adapter again. I don't... To actually maintain the vehicle, let's go in and see if we can do it via the... How's it looking? L3 1,156. That's what happens when an idiot goes and buys a new tractor and doesn't inform the boss first. Right, okay, well that's the first thing I wanted to get done. That's refueled, repaired. The cultivator is repaired. We'll get that put away in just a moment. I'm just going to move this to the corner of the yard and we'll put that away in a minute once we've got some of these bales moved. So let's pop that there. So what we should be able to do now is jump in the Scorpion, and left myself a lot of room there. I'll start loading this up. Fence. As you can see, we've got that kind of semi, so you're kind of loading but not loading, you know what I mean? I like it. I think it's a good way of doing it. It's clever. Right, what I'm going to try this time then. Now this, I should have probably kept the weight that we leased. This may not go too well. It's worth a try. It's worked before with other loaders, but that may have been on 17. I'm trying to think if I've done this on here yet. It loads to the ground to start off with, and not extend the boom too much. And as we swing round, it'll probably take a load of these off anyway, but maybe not. That's alright, we're doing alright. I think it's because I've got the forks in it as well. There we go. Cool. I mean, this is a kind of method for... I know not everyone likes loading bales manually. It doesn't bother me. I quite enjoy doing it. I know some people don't mind doing it, but I've had messages, people telling me they don't mind doing it, but they can never get a neat stack. They don't like the fact that they can't get a neat stack, which is fair enough. You know, everyone wants to aim for, you know, and I would just say just keep practicing, of course. But this is a kind of somewhere between the two. So you are still going down that manual route, but if you know that your stacking's not that great and you want the final product to be really neat and tidy, and the good thing is once it puts onto an auto-load trailer like this, you get these like what I call ethereal bales. I've always said that, because you can kind of drive through them. They're not real until you unload them onto the trailer, which is a very weird situation. But you kind of get this ethereal bale situation. I know it's not real, I know it doesn't look right. Like I say, it's just, if nothing else, it's about having an idea of other ways of doing things, you know? Cool, right, well, we'll finish this off, and then we'll get the round ones loaded up and we'll get them sent off as well. And everything will be wonderful in the world. I'll see you in a minute, and then we'll get out, we'll plough out the rest of that field, and we've got seeding to do. That's the other job I wanted to get done. Our multi-field and field 1 need to be seeded, and if I get a chance to, we'll try and get onto field 45, but that means a different, we're going to need a planter for that, because we're doing sugar beet. Why do I keep saying sugar cane? I don't know why. Right, I'm up at field 1, and this is the 44 that I was talking about. The 44. The fields are ready to be seeded now. And our triticale on field 2 is growing. You can just about see that yellowish kind of look just over the edge there. Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure, you know, there's nothing dodgy and underhand going on. These are the 44. These came off of this field after the first harvest. We baled them and they got put there, and that's where they stayed. So these are going to be collected. While I'm here, just an update on the GEISELSBERG police thing. There's been another tweet. So, yeah, there you go. I've got to be so careful. I've done so much better. I only knocked over 1 yesterday, but apparently that was enough. So, anyway, right, these are going to be cleared. So, the first 27, I think I managed to get onto the trailer in the end, have gone off to where have they gone off to? Well, the bale delivery centre, however you want to call it, barn. I mean, just the main thing. So that's the rye bales, and this is the first 44 of the straw bales for stew, and the other 6 are down in the yard. So I'm going to sort those out in a moment. Now for those of you that don't know, once they're loaded up like this, I'm still indicating on, I've just suddenly realised. Once they're loaded up like this, they are what I call an ethereal bale, which means they don't technically exist. You can drive around and it doesn't make any difference at all. But if you unload onto the trailer, and you'll watch the bales will drop and the trailer will drop a little bit, like that, that means they're now real. They have weights, they have mass, substance, they're there. And then that would be then when you would strap them on. If you don't want them to be like that, because obviously driving now, they're very top heavy, if you take a corner too tightly the whole lot can go over, that kind of thing. If you don't want them to be, then you can turn them kind of back into an ethereal bale by reloading the auto load trailer. So if I take the straps off now, just kind of a bit of a, just to show you, help you out, if I press, there you go. So it restacks them all on the auto load trailer, and they are, for all intents and purposes, ethereal again. They don't kind of exist, but I want them to have some weight and mass because I want to deliver these properly. So we're going to unload onto that trailer like so. Straps on, and these are going to go off. So yeah, these will go, and then the 6 in the yard plus the last of the rye bales, and that'll be a couple of the bale contracts partially complete, not completely complete. And then I will go into the baling. The ploughing, then we'll go into the seeding. But I just wanted to show that bit, just to show that I'm here, I'm doing it. I'm just enjoying driving these around, really. Just been checking it all over, making sure everything's okay, everything's greased and stuff where it should be, nothing's broken, no shear bolts gone, we're all looking good. Which way shall I go? I go across the field, can't I? Next to the manure pile, we've still got a load of manure left, so I can do the 20,000 litres of manure that's needed for Farmer Foley's Watland Daub Bygone Days Museum kind of project, which is great. I've also got a load from the pigs. I've got slurry and manure over there, so I could do that anyway, even if I didn't have the pile sitting there. But we're all good. Someone asked me, sent me a message the other day saying, how do I do a new field? I think they're on flat map. With the plough, some sort of subsoilers, and if you've got the that cultivator pack, what's the one called? Where it turns the base game cultivators into, basically you can plough with them. Or you can create fields with them. I think it's L1 and triangle will allow you to create fields. Yep, so L1 and triangle will allow create fields. If you press L1 and triangle again, it will turn it off, so you might not want to, but what I'm going to do is head straight on from here to extend the field that way, and then when we get roughly to about maybe there, I guess, we're going to turn, head along the side of the river like so. I'm going to clip in off the corner of this bit of the field here and then swing around a bit like that and utilise everything. And this is where I'm going to find out whether I've got any tree stumps or not that I missed, because potentially I have, I don't know yet. We'll soon see, won't we? I'm probably going to go right out to the edge as well, wherever I can, probably to about there, I guess. I know I've extended this field once already, and this may be boring if you're not bothered, but it's important to me as a farmer. It's important that you care. And then we'll go right up to the edge here, and we'll join onto the rest. So we have really extended this field a lot since the first kind of iteration. Although I've got to watch out for that. I'm not quite sure what that is. Whether it's just a post, a marker, or does it mark a drain? Could be a drain marker, maybe. Maybe a German thing you might see on the countryside all the time. I don't know what that is. If you know, drop it in the comments. Let me know what that orange post is. Like I say, it could just be a marker pole or something. And then we'll head out, hopefully, to the corner here. Join up like so. That's not a bad old extension, is it? I'm happy with that. Right, now I'm going to fill out the rest and see if we've come across any stumps or anything like that. We'll get this bit done. Then I can. This will be ready. Oh no, it might need lime actually. What we'll do is, as we go along and do this, we'll check and see on the sat map, because it may need just a bit of a squirt of lime. And I think we're going to buy one of those Scariflexes, you know, as a kind of weeder, organic fertiliser piece of machinery, because I think it's a brilliant bit of kit. Yeah, it's only, was it 6 metres, was it? It's not huge, and yes, there are fertiliser spreaders and stuff that will go much wider and much quicker and all that kind of stuff, but because there's no cost involved once you've bought it, it's actually not a bad bit of kit. If you're happy to set it off doing whatever it's doing while you're doing other jobs, it's worth its weight in gold, really. Right, let's just check the old sat map, shall we? How are we looking? We're down at 45 down there. Soil composition. Yeah, it's going to need lime. So it won't need ploughing, obviously, because we're ploughing it out, but it will need a dab of lime on there, and then we'll get this. I haven't got enough money to buy a Scariflex at the moment. I think I've got some fertiliser. I might just have to give that a bit of a squirt of fertiliser. Yeah, this field 45 has come a long way. Right, let's drop that in, and away we go. Always miss a little bit. I always underestimate how slowly the plough goes down. Right, so, like I say, I'm going to finish this bit off, get some lime on here, and then that'll be ready for the sugar beet going in. Field 45 is now pretty much good to go. It's been limed. I'm giving it a bit of a squirt as well, sort of fertiliser. Now, we have leased the Vaderstat Rapid I had trouble saying this today, A800S. I've got this on with the extended seed tank, so that will do 5,000 litres, I think it is. I haven't got a fertiliser tank on it because, if you remember, we're doing the vegan contract. We've already done the fertilising stages on the field, so we don't need or want any fertiliser. Now, this has come with mixed reviews. I've been reading a lot of the farming journals, that kind of thing, if you know what I mean. And there have been some complaints with regard to the cultivating section of this. Now, I believe this is a direct drill. I think it is. Let me just check. I'm sure it was, wasn't it? I think that's why, because it's got the fertilising, the cultivating section, sorry. pretty sure it is this machine offers the possibility to seed directly right there. So the cultivating section of this apparently is cultivating wider than the seeding bit. I don't know. We're going to give it a go. That's the thing. We are going to need some seed, obviously, and we've got our multi-field and we've got field 1 to do. So what we'll do is let's go into here. I'll also get seed bags, but I might just get the standard Pioneer seed pallets. Although, will it fill from bags? It should do, shouldn't it? So I'm pretty sure the big bags are still a better alternative. 1,800 for 2,000 litres, or 1,800 for 2,100. It's much of a muchness, isn't it? It really doesn't make a lot of difference. Let's get 2 of those and we'll see how we go. We can always swing by on the way back and get some more if we need it. I've just blocked in my Xerion. What we are going to do at some point as well is we'll probably upgrade the Xerion. If we do, we go for the 4,500. It'll have to go into the shop because it's going to need the larger bonnet because it's got a bigger engine. The engine needs to be swapped out and all that kind of stuff. What I'm hoping for, you see on the back there in the middle, there's a ball joint in the middle there. When I was at Agritechnica, there were loads of stalls that had these big slurry tankers and things like that, which connect over the back onto that. A little bit like a fifth wheel attachment, like the gooseneck trailer kind of attachments. But we haven't got anything yet for that, but that would be awesome. The fact it's there, I'm hoping we do get something. Anyway, that's kind of possible in the future type scenario stuff. So what we'll do we need to open the cover? Oh, it's already open. Let's fill up. It's better. See it better. Let's go from the other side as well. Fantastic. Cover closed. Lights can go back off. That was just so I could see what was going in. Right. Watch out for road signs. Let's watch the back of this. Actually, it's actually fairly narrow. Weirdly enough, this 8 metre is probably narrower folded than the 6 metre John Deere that we've got. Another reason for going for this, I mean, I could have used my 6 metre John Deere, it's only 2 metres difference in it, and if I'd gone for the A600S, it's the same width. The point being, it's got a larger seed tank. The John Deere's got a very, very small seed tank. Right, let's stick to the middle of the road. There's nothing coming. Let's get our beacons on just so people know that we are coming. Road sign demolisher. En route. Right, beacons off. So this one we're going to put rye in. The other one is going to be for wheat. Both fields are prepped. Seed beds, fertilising states, all the rest of it's all been done. So let's change that then to rye. Like that. Open it up. Turn it on. Drop it down. Let's get cracking. Actually, I might get the lights on. Just makes it a little bit easier to see where we're going, doesn't it? It looks like from in cab, bit of jostling about. Considering we prepared this seed bed, that's a bit uneven, isn't it? Oh, we're looking at the back. Not bad. I need to tuck that nose in a little bit, I think. Off by a little bit. If I keep the corner of that screen along the edge, I think that's about right, isn't it? Yeah, about right. We may need to rethink this. This is a bit of consumer advice for you out there, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to go for the new Väderstad Rapid A600/800S, it would appear that the words of warning were valid. Weirdly, if you turn a corner, doesn't matter how shallow, what it's doing, and that even did that on the straight, the edges of it are cultivating bits. So the bits that have previously been seeded, it's then kind of recultivating. And on the bends here, you can see these dabs where it's cultivated around the edges. What's probably a little bit worse than that is if you hire a worker. I had a couple of jobs to do, you know. Hired a worker, and bits that had previously been seeded, when it got to the end and turned round, it cultivated bits that had previously been seeded. So there's loads of patches now around the field which had previously been seeded, which have now been recultivated. So I think we're going to have to take it back, unload it and get a different seeder. That's a bit disappointing. I was really looking forward to using that. Although everything's getting really dirty really quickly. Let's turn it off, lift it up, fold it. Now admittedly, if you were running headlands and you were coming in doing the headlands later, I'm assuming that when it stops and lifts, it's leaving those bits where a headland would be, which isn't, you know, again, which isn't the end of the world. But it's these little bits on the slight turns. There's so much of the field now that's got little patches and bits that have now been recultivated. It doesn't seem like a lot, but you multiply that by an entire field and it's potential crop loss that, you know, we need that crop. We really do need that crop. So I'm going to take this back and we'll rethink what we're going to get instead. I was hoping to use something that I hadn't used at all or for a while. The Rapid A600S I've used before, but not the 800. We might have to fall back on an old favourite maybe. I don't know, we'll have a look. That's £4 down the drain for the lease of this. The problem is, well, I could carry on because I'm already £4 in on leasing it, but then I'm going to have to go back over the whole thing and reseed all the bits that are done. It's just too much mucking about. So what we'll do, let's swing this round and we'll unload the seed out of it, and then we can fill up another seeder with whatever we've got out of it. So unload that. That was unforeseen. I mean, if it was foreseen, I wouldn't have bothered getting it, would I? Although I had that, like I say, I had red warnings. Ah, that was the thing I was going to do. This, the 28,000 litre one, we're not really using. We've got the 45,000. I might get another 45,000, but realistically, we can only use one at a time. So I think we're probably going to sell that. We had that to start off with. It was 28, and that was fine. Then we got the 45. So yeah, and that's just sat there since then. So we'll probably get rid of that. Right, okay then, so... No, that's not what I wanted. I want the store. Cedars. You know what? Let's go pronto. Okay. Right, horse, pronto 9. Change it over to right. I don't want to make a mistake and put the wrong crop in. And back to the field we go. So all the money we made on bales. We've now just spent... Oh well. So while all that fun and hilarity continues, I've come back to the store with the Fendt, which seriously needs a wash, and we have leased the Velestadt FH2 2200 front tank and the Tempo V8 planter, because we're going to be putting sugar beet down in field 45. Interestingly, I've just leased this, and that pipe between the two is filthy. Whoever had that last didn't clean it before they returned it. It's outrageous. We bought some more seed, we put that in it. Actually, what we need to do is fold that for transport. So while I've got a worker cracking on with our multi-field, we can get on with putting the sugar beet down. Now I haven't gone bigger than this because I thought using the Fendt, I could have used the Sintrack, we could have gone with something larger, but I want to use this. It's another one of those things I'm thinking, because we're leasing equipment, it gives me the opportunity to try out all different sorts of seeders and planters, and normally on any given farm that I'm running, we'll own a seeder or planter, or we'll buy a seeder or planter, and that's the one you use from then on, because that's what you've got, unless you do contracts for other people. So at least doing it this way, because we're leasing, we can use all sorts. Let's get down to the field and let's get on with it. I've decided just to give it a quick wash, just to make sure that everything is in proper working order. It's hard to see if things are working, not working, need fixing, need sorting, if they're caked. So what I thought I'd do, let's give it all a bit of a quick old wash down. That way, if we experience any issues in the field, we'll be able to see what we're doing, won't we? It'll probably be filthy in minutes anyway, but we might as well start off fairly clean. Right, that'll do. Right, we are set on sugar beet. We are on. No. Don't want to drop that down. I'm going to drop that down. We're up in the tempo. Literally. I'm just finishing off the final strip down here on field 45 of our sugar beet going in the ground. Now, I did mention this was a contract for Mr. Massey, very good friend to the channel. Mr. Massey makes rock, like holiday rock, not like rocks. Do you get the seaside? He makes seaside rock. That's what he does for a living. And he says here, a bit of a coincidence, I found out today that sugar-free iso malt is made from beets. As I've started making sugar-free rock today, it would be interesting to see if we can reduce the costings by synthesising our own iso malt. £1 per litre will be paid for Macadam's confectionery in Poulton, up to 150,000 litres. Now it does say up to, so I'm hoping, normally sugar beet yields very highly, so potentially, yeah, whatever we get off this field is what we'll deliver. He says up to 150,000 litres. If we get more than 150,000, then we'll do something else with the rest. That's not a problem. But that's the contract for Mr. Massey for sugar beet. That's why I'm putting sugar beet in the ground. So I learned something as well with that, because I didn't know that iso malt was beet. But anyway, this seeder is going to go back. But what I do need to do is empty. I'll empty it here. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. They're empty, does it? Let's go to the front tank and you don't fold the solar. What? Not enough space to unload? How much space does this thing need to unload? Put an angle. Okay. Now I'm puzzled. Why is this not unloading? To the field. There has to be enough space in the field to unload, surely. It's going to be a pain, isn't it? Wah! I have got seed, actually, that was in a trailer in that silo. So what we could do is maybe do that. But if he was putting it right next to it there, how come there wasn't enough room? Oh, right, I'll give up. Right, that's that. Let's cover that back up. I'll come and collect that later on. But what I am going to do, to finish off, the seeding is nearly done over on field 1, which means our jobs for today, getting those bales all sent off. The bales, as you can see, are now all gone from here. The 44 from up on the field are gone. The 6 I had in the yard are gone. We have seeded our multi-field. That's now got our vegan rye in it. Field 1 is nearly finished with our vegan wheat in it, and field 45 has now got our sugar beet in it. But what I'm going to do is go and grab the bucket and the trailer, and I'm going to load up this sort of slightly smaller trailer with manure for the 20,000 litres we need for farmer foliar. So what we'll do is let's just drop the spikes off. I'll tidy this up later on. You know I will. It's not like I'm never going to leave that. There you go. Helper J has completed their task. We are going to have probably more pigs to sell in the next episode. We are going to... What else are we going to do in the next episode? I'm trying to think. We're going to do poplar bales. Need to be done at some point, don't they? What else do we need to do? Probably a silage harvest on the cornfield that we did the maize in. What else? All sorts of exciting projects to do. So we've only got this set on 14, isn't it? Or is it 18? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, we've come to the end of this episode. I've got the jobs done I wanted to. That's the main thing. And we are continuing. We haven't actually made any money in this episode. If anything, we've lost money. And we had a little bit of consumer advice about the Vadestat A800S. That was a bit of a worry. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.